as y'all know, Kyrie Irving has been a very polarizing figure, at least this season, right? We all know what transpired with Kyrie Irving this season. It was something truly to behold. Something that was truly to behold. And I have never seen one player come under that level of scrutiny probably ever. It was incredible, right? And the major talking point, or one of the major talking points after that situation, or during that situation rather, is that Kyrie Irving is a distraction, right? Or is he going to be a distraction? All of these different, and people thought that was going to be something that was ultimately going to derail the Brooklyn Nets. They were criticized at a certain point, I think justifiably. But since then, since Kyrie Irving came back from that forced suspension, we haven't heard anything. We haven't heard anything from him, right? Now, what's been the speculation? The speculation has been this coming into this season. Based on how the Brooklyn Nets ended their season last year, by getting swept in the first round, and some of the comments that Kyrie Irving makes subsequently after they got started talking about me, Joe, Kevin, and all of us are going to manage your organization. That's something that really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And we were hearing rumblings that the Brooklyn Nets were looking to move on from him. And also we heard that he wanted a long-term extension, and we were hearing that the Brooklyn Nets were not willing to give him that extension. Then we heard rumors of him trying to get a deal, and one of those deals, or a potential landing spot for him was supposed to be with the Los Angeles Lakers. But of course, the Lakers had an issue because they could not trade Russell Westbrook, given all of the slander that he had received all through the offseason by a lot of the pundits in the media, and also given the fact that he had a $14.7 million contract, which is an incredible amount of money to try to match up. You know, when you're doing trades, salaries need to match up to a certain extent. So what happened? The season started, and ultimately the Brooklyn Nets were forced to play with Kyrie Irving. Since that drama that he had, after the comments that whole drama, I don't want to get into that. The Brooklyn Nets have been on a tear, and they've been winning a lot of games. Then recently, what happened? Kevin Durant got injured, right? He got injured, and some people are speculating that the Brooklyn Nets were not going to be able to stay afloat in the absence of Kevin Durant. And to me, which just shows the premium of having KD on this team. But now we're hearing, and by the way, Charles Barkley said he doesn't believe they're going to win a game until Kevin Durant returns, but who knows? But now we're hearing a report via fadeawayworld.net that the Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie Irving are possibly going to be reaching a resolution rather quickly. So let me get into this article here. Starts off with the headline. Kyrie Irving and Brooklyn Nets have reportedly decided on their future together. Despite boasting a huge level in recent games, Kyrie Irving's future with the Brooklyn Nets has been a recurring topic around the league. Ever since he signed with them in 2019, Irving has been involved in controversies, with some of them costing him a lot of playing time. After the refusal to take the COVID-19 vaccine, Kyrie once again started another bad moment when he shared a movie full of anti-Semitism on social media. The decision and subsequent lack of apologies from Kyrie forced the Brooklyn Nets to suspend him, with some saying he was even close to being cut from the team. Now, things are going just fine, and Kyrie has focused only on basketball. He's taken the role of a leader after Kevin Durant went down with an injury, trying to put water on the fire that could start after the team's recent losses. It seems like Kyrie Irving's new approach has worked wonders for him, as the Nets front office appears to be ready to extend their partnership with the point guard beyond this season. According to Michael Scotto of Hoops Hypes, many executives believe Kyrie Irving will stay in Brooklyn for many seasons. In the process, several NBA executives who spoke with Hoops Hype believe Irving and the Nets will continue their partnership together beyond this season, a notion that seems improbable to many around the league amid Irving's suspension and Brooklyn's listless start to the season. I think Kyrie ends up with a short extension with the Nets, one NBA executive predicted while speaking with Hoops Hype. A sign and trade for Kyrie this summer would be tough given the length needed and assets to make it happen from another team. I think there is an incentive for an extension on a 1+1 or 2-year deal. If I'm Brooklyn, I'm not going past 2 years. I don't know if Kyrie will accept that. The Lakers will go into the summer with cap space and can offer 2 years, $60 million, where he could rejoin LeBron James and play with Anthony Davis. So you heard the report. So basically, it seems like there's a real possibility that the Brooklyn Nets can extend an offer sheet to Kyrie Irving. Now, they pointed out some important things that we need to highlight, which was the extension, a 1+1, right? 1 year plus a player option to pick up the next one. And someone said the maximum a 2-year deal. In that article, it also said that Kyrie Irving could be reluctant to sign such a deal. Why? Because usually when you sign contracts, you want to sign them for as long as possible. With the exception of like LeBron when he was doing 1+1s with Cleveland to keep the pressure on them. But usually you want to sign a long-term contract for security, right? So you know that you're going to be getting money for a very long time, which is similar to what Kawhi Leonard did with the Clippers, I believe it was last season, right? Some people are like, no, wait, come back, see how he plays, and then try to sign a new one. And Kawhi was like, no, I'm going to grab the money while it's here. While it's in front of me, I'm going to grab it, which I think was a smart move because he's going to make money anyway. But if you have guaranteed money in front of you, take it now. Because there's been some cases out, some horror stories where players passed on it and ultimately ended up paying dearly for it. But we're hearing that the Brooklyn Nets could offer him an extension. To me, I think it speaks to the turnaround Kyrie Irving has been able to do in terms of his public image and him not being a talking point in the media, right? You rarely hear anything from him, and when he's talking, he's always talking about basketball. Although that recent situation that this article was referring to, I believe he was baited into a lot of those questions. I believe he was truly baited into a lot of those questions, right? Those were a lot of gotcha questions and loaded questions that they were asking Kyrie Irving. In my personal opinion, I think they were looking for a headline, and Kyrie Irving gave it to them. But could we see Kyrie Irving potentially extend his tenure with the Brooklyn Nets? Possibly. We also have to look at Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, I believe, is going to be turning 35 years old this year. I don't know if Kevin Durant wants to move on to another organization in the future. He could. I'm not saying it won't happen, but given the fact that him and Kyrie have a relationship, and by the way, I don't know Katie, I don't know Kyrie, so I'm just speculating from afar. I'm not saying that's what they're going to do. I'm just saying what I think from afar. I think it's important that I say that. I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know these people. But given the fact that they, through reports that they have a very good relationship, one would think that they would want to continue that. Now, I think a lot of it is dependent upon what happens this season, right? What type of run are they going to be able to make? And I think they're going to make a run in spite of Ben Simmons. Let me just throw that out there one more time. I think Ben Simmons got ejected in that game yesterday. Charles Barkley said it was selfish. I'm sure the basketball savant that watches basketball, I'm sure he thought that was a genius move. But I think they're going to wait and see what happens with Ben Simmons and how they're able to make a run this year. I still think that it can be very good. And obviously, when you saw them playing with Kevin Durant, obviously they were a very good team. But I think this is good news for Kyrie Irving, at least from a PR standpoint, that the Brooklyn Nets are looking to offer him another contract extension. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about this report? Do you think that Kyrie Irving ultimately stays with the Brooklyn Nets, or he moves on to join another team like the Los Angeles Lakers? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you all on the next one. Peace.